What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for Monday Night Raw review for 10/7/2019. Before we get into the review, I do want to mention about tomorrow night, episode 2 of the Tuesday Night Free match. We are going back to 2002. We're going to have Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. I'm going to go over that match and give my thoughts on it. It's a nice short little video. Make sure to check it out tomorrow. Tuesday Night Free match, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, this show was absolutely one throwaway show. There was no follow-up to what happened last night in the main event. Like, seriously, Seth Rollins, Fiend is injured. Bray Wyatt is injured. He was not on the show, not medically cleared. But Seth Rollins was nowhere to be found. The only mention of that shitty main event that has killed Bray Wyatt already was the fact that they went over the highlights towards the end of the show. Other than that, zero follow-up. There was almost no follow-up to anything at Hell in a Cell, for the simple fact is WWE probably wants to get that show out of their out of their vocabulary. They don't want to talk about it anymore. So the Hell in a Cell post-edition of Raw was just terrible. Nothing. It just felt like a total waste of time. Now we opened the show with Lana. We see a video package of Lana and Bobby Lashley's releasing returns during the match between Rusev and the Universal Champion Seth Rollins last week. The video clip shows Lana and Rusev together on Total Divas, along with his reaction to the big kiss between Lashley and Lana. We cut to normal opening video package, and before we could actually get any pyro or anything, we cut from the video package straight to the ring as Baron Corbin and Randy Orton are already beating up Rusev. Vic Joseph welcomed us to Raw. He's joined by Dio Madden and Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. Dio Madden sounded so much better this week compared to last week. Last week, you could barely hear the dude. He was just so nervous. He was quiet. You can hardly hear him. He seems to be much better. He was much better tonight, coming into his zone a little bit more, so that's a good thing for him. Orton and Corbin retreat from the floor as Rusev fights them off and stands tall. Bobby Lashley appears on the big screen taunting Rusev, and here I thought WWE turned on a porno, because the next 5 minutes or so just felt like they were getting into porno territory. As Bobby Lashley appeared on the big screen taunting Rusev, he was wearing Rusev's robe, revealing that he is at Rusev's house, in his room, standing next to his bed. He's wondering, wonder how uncomfortable this bed really is. Takes the robe off, gets into the bed. He hops into the bed and gets under the comforter. Lashley says he's missing something that Rusev also is missing a lot. And then Lana appears in a robe on her own with a pair of lacy underwear on. Lana takes off the robe, but Lashley is covering her with a blanket. She hops into the bed with Lashley and says everything is now hers. Everything that was theirs is now hers. Everything's in her name. Lashley comments about spending Rusev's money wisely. Instead of sending it back to his family in Bulgaria, he should have been spending it on Lana. Said it looks like Rusev isn't having fun, but she is, as she takes her bra that she had on and takes the loops and takes them down to where takes her arms through them so they're down. Lashley corrects her, "We're having fun." Lana starts under the ropes, they're laughing, cuddling up to Lashley. Lashley turns the light off and also laughs. This is cringe as fuck. I don't know why they decided this. So you're Rusev. People were over. You were happy Rusev Day was over. Rusev Day was over. You were one of the most popular guys in the company that was not being used right. You, Lana, go off on a nice little vacation. You guys take a couple months off, get your minds right. And you come back to pretty much be humiliated week in and week out. Your wife supposedly cheating on you week in and week out, having to go through this. If I'm Rusev, I'm wanting out of this company tomorrow. This is absolutely some of the worst shit I've ever seen. But then, fans are booing the arena. Rusev isn't happy, looking on from the ring. Corbin and Orton are laughing at Rusev. Fans chant she's a hooker. Now, Team Hogan's Rusev turns his attention to Orton and Corbin. He is just pissed off. He exits the ring and attacks Orton and Corbin. He sends Corbin into the steel steps. So after he went from, oh, I'm sad, I'm depressed, my wife is cheating on me, to, I'm going to kill these two motherfuckers who were laughing at me, this is where the segment got good. He went out there, beat them down. He sends Corbin into the steel steps and puts Orton in the barrier with a fallaway slam. Rusev gets hyped up as he goes to work on Corbin with the steps and the ring post. Rusev rams half the steps into Orton's face, and then Corbin sending him into the barrier. Rusev snapped. He manhandles Orton and says, "Are you laughing at me now? Are you laughing at me now?" And then just takes him and throws him into the post. He then charges with a big running kick to Corbin, who was on the other side. The barrier, Rusev with a big running kick to Orton. Vic Joseph says this was supposed to be Orton versus Rusev. Orton tosses another piece of the steps as he marches up the ramps, pissed off. The biggest positive of this all is that Rusev actually showed that he has a spine compared to last week, where Bobby Lashley and Lana were in the arena and he just sat there and did nothing. They make out. He does nothing. They get a little bit more frisky. He does nothing. This week, they're not in the arena, so I guess that gives him the reason to go all ape shit on Baron Corbin and Randy Orton. Well, that was just the beginning of your show. I have a feeling that Bobby Lashley will be on Team Orton when we get to this Crown Jewel thing. I really don't care. The biggest question is, when the draft comes starting Friday, will Bobby Lashley and Rusev be on the same brand? Where is this entire Bobby Lashley, Rusev, and Lana thing is going? I really don't care. I really do not buy that Lana and Rusev are really having marital problems, and Lashley, she's actually sleeping with Lashley. I just don't buy it. It's just something I don't buy at all. They hyped tonight's show with Tyson Fury. We'll have a live mic. Also, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch will be on Miz TV. Also facing Asuka and Kairi Sane in the championship showcase. A repeat of what we did a couple weeks ago when it was Bayley and Becky Lynch versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss when Bayley turned heel. And Natalya faces off against Lacey Evans in a last woman standing match, which was our next match. You want to know how to kill a last man standing match or a last woman standing match where you don't want to see one again? You put Lacey Evans and Natalya in this match. Pretty much this entire match, Lacey Evans beats the holy hell out of Natalya. Natalya does she not know how to struggle to get to her feet? Because there's a lot of times in this match, she's just laying there. It gets to 9, and she pops back, it gets to 8, and she pops back up as if everything's fine. Lacey Evans can't take a powerbomb off of the stage to a table, and she loses. So yeah, Lacey Evans, who controls this entire match, can't take a powerbomb off the stage to a table, and she ends up losing, even though she beat the holy hell out of Natalya, and Natalya could just get back up. This match was boring. This match was just, it wasn't fun. I just sat here and was like, every time Natalya's sitting there, she's like dead. And it's like, okay, that's the end of the match. And she pops back up as if nothing's wrong. Like she was selling it for 8 seconds, and then she'll pop back up as if everything's fine. Like she got some super juice coming into her. Like she was like supercharged or something. But yeah, Lacey Evans takes one powerbomb, which the powerbomb was beautiful. Natalya with the control of Evans on top of her. I will give her that. That powerbomb was a nice powerbomb. But Evans just can't get up from that. Okay, I don't buy that one bit, but okay. Where does this go from here? Natalya might be the next one to face Becky Lynch again. I don't know. Lacey Evans can't, of course, be going for the Women's Championship until Becky Lynch loses the championship. When is that going to be? Hell if I should know. Championship showcase in another episode of Miz TV. Tyson Fury is backstage with his family, and my word, I thought Heath Slater had kids. This dude, there was like two. It was like he had one in his hand, I believe. There was two kids he was talking to. His wife had one in her hands, I believe, and there were two in a pair of strollers. I'm like, oh shit, holy kids. Back from break, and the announcers talk about breast cancer awareness because that is what this month is. It is October. Aleister Black is backstage somewhere, and Black says Raw is a place of competition and battle that he desires. Under this calm and collective demeanor, we all know this is not who Black is. No, he is as unforgiving as fire and as cold, as permanent as death. And all of this will tell you that Black is forever restless, Black wants someone to come to his door, knock on it, and pick a fight with him. Aleister Black, you know, the guy who was on SmackDown Live, on Friday Night SmackDown, on that roster, is on Monday Night Raw. I fully expect Aleister Black, Andrade, Zelina Vega, and Charlotte all on SmackDown coming on, starting next with Friday's episode. Because Andrade is dating Charlotte, and of course Zelina Vega, his manager, is married to Aleister Black, so I don't see them moving anywhere. The Street Profits doing what they always do backstage, annoying the hell out of us. I remember seeing a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, that the Street Profits were only in these backstage vignettes or backstage promos until they get over, because WWE wants them to be over before they get into the ring. This is not doing it. If you would have brought them out if you would have put them in the ring, again, in that Toronto crowd, they would have been over the Monday after SummerSlam. If that's what you wanted to do, you could have had them go into that show this Monday after TakeOver, and they would have been over. These are not helping them. Then they do a draft pick preview of Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, which I hope actually gets to do something, and Drake Maverick. I don't know why. They go about Tyson and how Tyson Fury is here. We see footage of Fury's incident with Braun Strowman on SmackDown. The announcers show us some of the mainstream media headlines because that's all WWE cares about. Don't let it get twisted. WWE cares about mainstream, and that is it. If they do whatever they can to get mainstream audience, because they know that, yes, the Cleveland Browns got beat 31-3 tonight, but still, people are going to watch that over Monday Night Raw on those weeks. I'm hoping that after the bullshit that we saw last night, that nobody outside of a content creator who does this stuff nobody outside of a content creator in any shape or form watched Monday Night Raw, because they do not deserve it. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Tyson Fury. She asks why he's provoking Braun. He says he's not. Strowman tried making a fool of him when he was just there watching matches. He has gone too far by jumping the barrier, but he was invited here tonight, and he wants an apology. Fury says if he doesn't get one, Strowman will get his hands. Don't care. Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman does not interest me one iota, so I really, really don't care. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus the Viking Raiders. Non-title match. Can someone explain to me what happened to earning a title opportunity other than beating the champion? Seriously. What is the fucking point of having, you see this, so it's like, here's something that doesn't make any sense. Asuka and Kairi Sane got tag team title opportunity last night. They won the tag team titles. What did they do to get that title shot? Nothing. Bayley and Sasha Banks, who, yes, I know, one was a champion at the time and one was going inside Hell in a Cell. They beat the champions multiple times. They never got a title shot. But yet the Viking Raiders, with this win tonight, are getting a title shot next week. You mean to tell me because they've beaten the OC twice, I believe. They've beaten other tag teams. We couldn't have a number one contenders battle royal or something. But no, we had to have the Viking Raiders versus Rudolph, with the Viking Raiders coming out on top. The match was good. I will say that. The match was good. And, the Viking Raiders, for Hanson and Rowe, are definitely two awesome teams. Two awesome guys. Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler are great as well. And this was definitely a hell of a match. I will say that. But it's just, you gotta think of better ways to get title opportunities. Glorious DDT was missed as Hanson gets up, or Rowe gets up, back and forth. The Raiders hit the Thor's hammer on Ziggler for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, the Viking Raiders stand tall as their music hits, and we go to replays to celebrate. Still to come, champion versus champions, and Tyson Fury. Aleister Black is backstage somewhere. This time he is ready. It looks like he's ready to fight. Looks like he's taping up. And he said he's had second thoughts, and he knows how this turns out. And he is not waiting. Black is headed to the ring to see who wants to pick a fight with him. And you're wondering, who would they have to pick a fight with Aleister Black? Who would be somebody they could have to give us a great match with Aleister Black? Because Aleister Black is one of the best that they have and could be a future World Heavyweight Champion or Universal Champion. If you said the Singh brothers, I'm calling you a liar. But yes, they gave out that Samir and Sunil Singh were out in the ring dancing. They take the mic and talk about how the showcase was the best time for the WWE 205 Live top tag team to return to Raw. They want to make a statement on why they should be in the top draft picks. They want to pick a fight with Aleister Black. They go to perform a Bollywood song, but out comes Aleister Black. He marches to the ring. Black launches himself into the ring and takes a seat. The bell rings and Samir charges, but Black immediately drops him in the big kick to the head. This was a waste of our time. This was a waste of Aleister Black's time. And this just was another set of this show that shows you that this episode of Monday Night Raw was an absolute waste of time. I know the draft is Friday and next Monday, but this was absolutely a massive waste of time. Black Master won, and then he puts a Dragon Sleeper on Sunil for the tap out. After the match, Black stands tall as the music hits, and that was that. The announcer shows highlight of Friday's Fox premiere because we haven't seen enough of that. As I said before, WWE likes to beat you over the head with shit that they think is cool. It was last Friday. You showed it to us 3 or 4 times on Sunday. We did not need to see it again tonight. They did cut out the Kofi Kingston Brock Lesnar debacle, but that is neither here nor there. Braun Strowman is backstage talking to his staffers. We go to commercial. Back from break. Charlotte Caruso is Braun Strowman, and she asked him about Tyson Fury. He wanted an apology for what happened at SmackDown. Braun said, "Oh, I was just trying to have some fun with ringside with Fury. But if Fury wants to take it all serious, Braun will too." Braun says, "Fury has a mean right, but so does he." He says, "Fury better take it easy or he will get these hands," and walks off. We talk about more highlights from the premiere week. Vix leads us to a video showing us how Brock Lesnar destroyed Kofi Kingston to quickly win the title. We also see how Rey Mysterio came out after the match with Cain Velasquez to get revenge for what happened by Lesnar last week on Raw. The video also shows the brawl with Cain and Lesnar. Carly is backstage with Rey, who is still in a sling. She brings up what happened and asks about Dominic, how he's doing. Rey thanks everyone for the support and says in a way he couldn't be prouder. Dominic took a beating and is going to be back in action, back at it soon. Dominic is home resting up, but he'll be ready soon. The physical scars will heal, but the mental ones will take longer. He goes about how I'm feeling helpless while being forced to watch his son, Lesnar brutalize his son. He felt like he let his son down. He let his whole family down. Rey was sitting in with his son in the hospital room when his godfather, which I didn't know that Cain Velasquez was Dominic's godfather, walked in. He mentioned how Cain took the UFC heavyweight title from Lesnar and says he's the only man who can accurately brag that Lesnar fears him. And if you go back and watch the confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez on Friday, you see legit fear in Brock Lesnar's eyes and face when Cain Velasquez is coming down to the ring. Brock Lesnar looks like he has seen a massive ghost from his past. He speaks some in Spanish, don't know what he said. Probably says Cain is going to avenge what happened to the family, and he walks off. I really don't care about the whole Cain Velasquez Brock Lesnar thing. I still don't think it needs the WWE Championship. In my opinion, it's WWE's way of getting Brock Lesnar his win back because Brock Lesnar legitimately cannot beat Cain Velasquez in a real fight. Yes, I said that. Brock Lesnar cannot, and it's been proven because Cain Velasquez kicked his ass, cannot beat Cain Velasquez in a real fight. So he has to go to WWE management to get Cain Velasquez in here to get his win back. Speaking of things that didn't really fucking matter, the OC versus the Lucha House Party. The OC was coming out here, and I'm literally sitting they're like 6-man tag match. I'm like, who's it gonna be against? Lucha. And then, lo and behold, the Lucha House Party. I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking kidding. WWE, just more disappointment after more disappointment. We get a new backstage promo from the Authors of Pain, aka Mirzar. They talk about having the will to take food from another man. Not one tag team in WWE has the type of killer instinct running through their veins like they do. They were born and raised this way, and they enjoy it. They have the will to take your food, to take your money, to take your careers away from you. They have the will to do violence in WWE that will mean they will write their opponents' names in the history books. That is why they are called the Authors of Pain, AOP. I do like the fact that the Authors of Pain got their name back. They're not just AOP anymore. They're Authors of Pain like they were before WWE decided to strip them of their tag team name and just call them AOP. We go back and we have another pointless match between the OCs and the Lucha House Party. I'm going to be honest with you, I went to take a shit when this match started, and I came back and it was over. Phenomenal forearm, the Kalisto, 1, 2, 3. After the match, the music hits but stops as the OC send Kalisto to the floor. Gallows brings Mental Leak back in the ring for a magic killer. Dorado runs in, but they stomp him away. AJ goes to the second rope as Gallows and to deliver Dorado to him. He hits a Super Styles Clash to the mat, and the OC stay tall in the middle of the ring as the music starts back up, and we go to replays. I really don't care. Now, will the OC stay together this time, or will we have what we had in 2016 and have AJ go to SmackDown and the rest of the OC stay on Raw? Don't know. We'll have somewhat of a predictions coming on Sunday afternoon, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The announcers show us some stills from Hell in a Cell match between Sasha Banks and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Becky and new SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte will be on Space TV, which I really didn't give a fuck about. Basically, the only thing you can take from this is that Miz talked up Charlotte, hyped up both women, and then both women were pretty much just wanting to talk themselves into another match with each other, which I don't want to see, and I know nobody wants to see for somewhere down the line. We saw Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair for way too long that honestly I don't want to see it again for 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. What sucks about there being the 4 horsewomen of WWE, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Sasha Banks, is that even if we have a draft and we have a shake-up the next year or something, we're going to continue to see either Bayley versus Sasha Banks, or Bayley versus Charlotte, or Becky versus Charlotte, or Charlotte versus. It's going to be a combination of those two on each brand, and it's just going to get tiresome over and over again. But Asuka and Kairi Sane come out, the new tag team champions. Asuka speaks Spanish from the stage. Sane laughs and also speaks in Japanese. I'm not Spanish, Japanese. Flair and Lynch look on from the ring. Sane and Asuka go on, but they get the what treatment because, I'm sorry, but this one kind of got to deserve what treatment because they spoke in Japanese, and I don't know what the hell they said. Obviously, they're heels now. Kairi Sane and Asuka are being treated like heels. Even because I guess you have to be a heel to use green mist. Kairi Sane has an evil-looking laugh now. They run down to the ramp as Becky Lynch wants to fight now. The brawl breaks out. Miz scrambles to get outside, but the brawl continues. Lynch and Flair mount their opponents and get the upper hand as referee runs for now to restore order. Asuka and Sane look on from the floor. Flair and Lynch run the ropes and drop kick their opponents back to the floor. We go to commercial with them standing tall, and then we have Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. We have to say now that there was no heel turn by the end of this one like there was the last time they tried this match. Now, this match was another one that felt like a big waste of time, but the match came to an end with a spit green mist into Becky Lynch's face. Kairi Sane takes the roll-up advantage and pins Becky Lynch. After the match, the champions celebrate until Flair runs in and attacks Asuka from behind. Sane makes the save. Asuka and Sane double-team Flair until out comes the former tag team champions of Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. The former champs unload on the current champs. Cross knocks Asuka out of the ring. Cross and Bliss double-team Sane now. They drop her and run around the ring as fans cheer them on. Flair and Lynch recover on the outside while Cross and Bliss celebrate in the ring. Becky Lynch would tweet out that she hopes that this is an act of war or something when it comes to the green mist because she is covered in it. I will have to say, Asuka, it's cool that she's using the green mist and everything, but she's got to do a better job at it. Because honestly, like, I don't know if she's like, if it's the HD cameras or something that's making it look weak, but it doesn't look as good as it did as others have done it. It's like she has less of a mist in there when she uses it than others do, because she does the mist and it's out, and like she's like her head's up too high and then she's going down. It just looks like she needs some practice with the green mist. So to come, we'll look back at Cena versus Seth Rollins and Hell in a Cell, and they lead us to Connor's secure video package with Roman Reigns and winning his second battle of leukemia. Back from break, we see the Chavez family at ringside, who received tonight's Little Caesar seat upgrade on the front row. Who cares? We get a replay of earlier tonight with Lana and Bobby Lashley in bed while Rusev watched in the ring, as he also took out Randy Orton and King Corbin. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Apollo Crews. Charlie brings up the draft in tonight's match with Ricochet. Crews says he's been grinding and staying positive and motivated for so long now, but it's nothing personal against Ricochet. It's just Apollo showcase, and he walks off. The Viking Raiders are backstage somewhere to address Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, saying they've learned earlier tonight that no one can keep the Vikings down and keep them from their fate. They will raid next Monday and become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. You couldn't just give these guys didn't earn a title match until they won against the Tag Team Champions. I hate WWE outside of NXT, the way they determine the number one contenders. Someone has to challenge the champion or someone has to beat the champion, and that's how you decide who's going to go and get a title shot. Or just like Asuka and Kairi saying, they just get it randomly. Sarah Shiru is backstage with Ricochet. He asked how he feels going into the showcase match with Apollo Crews. Ricochet says if he gets drafted to SmackDown this week, this will be his last Raw appearance, and there's no one he'd rather share the ring with than a legit best friend in Crews. He says this isn't a swan song. This is just him moving on to moving a step in the right direction. And he's ready to prove that superheroes can be real. Can we stop with this cringe fucking line? This is his catchphrase now, isn't it? I'm always ready to prove superheroes can be real. Please, can we stop? Can we stop? Just enough of that. Nice match here between these two. Ricochet picks up the win with the recoil. Crews did try to go for something as he lifted up. I think he had him up for a deadlift, but Ricochet slid out of it, got the recoil, and the 1-2-3. After the match, Ricochet stands tall, and the announcers leads to a video package of The Fiend versus Universal Champion Seth Rollins from last night's Hell in a Cell main event. We see Tyson Fury walking to the backstage area, shaking hands with several superstars back to commercial. So yeah, we got through this entire show. Seth Rollins was nowhere to be found. Bray Wyatt is off injured. And they did not talk about this entire show and the Fiend and Seth Rollins until 3/4 of the way of the show being done. The Fiend is ruined. The Mystique is dead. Even if they have a rematch at Survivor Series, which, by the way, that was tweeted out by WWE earlier today and then got deleted a little bit later after that. But if that's how WWE is going to go with this, they might as well just, like, Bray Wyatt, win the Rotunda. I think you need to just leave WWE because they don't understand what you can do. They don't give you the credit you deserve, and they're going to ruin everything that you can have. You deserve better, and honestly, like, you came up with The Fiend, and quite honestly, if you wanted to go to AEW, you wanted to go to New Japan, you wanted to go to somewhere else and bring this Fiend to life, I guarantee you, AEW, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, or anywhere else would give you the legs to stand on and actually get this thing to where it needs to go. Because Vince McMahon is going to ruin this every step of the fucking way. I hope everyone enjoyed The Fiend while they could, because The Fiend is going to be dead in no time. We do confirm that Ziggler and Roode will take on the Viking Raiders next week for the titles. The Hall of Famer Jerry Lawler is in the ring. Security is surrounding the ring, and Lawler gives a big introduction for professional boxer Tyson Fury, and he comes out to a pop. Lawler asks Fury about last week's SmackDown incident with Braun and why he's here tonight. Fury gives a shout out to Bakersfield first. Fury says he was here last week minding his own business, but Braun tried to make him look like a fool. Says he is in demand. He's here to demand an apology. Lawler goes to speak. The out comes Braun Strowman, who marches down the ring. Fans chant, "Get these hands," as they stare each other down. Strowman says he was messing around trying to have fun with Fury on SmackDown until he saw how Fury looked at him like he wanted a piece, which is why he shoved Dolph Ziggler into him. Strowman says he was saying let him go when security pulled him pulled him away on SmackDown. Strowman says the last thing Fury wants is to get in his ring because he doesn't know what Strowman is capable of. Strowman says he will eat Fury for lunch. Fury says it's good security took him away because he would have knocked Strowman out. I absolutely believe that if he got in the ring. Strowman says he's mistaken because it would be Fury on his back looking up at the lights and not some slow-ass 10 count like the last time he fought Deontay Wilder. Fury says he's the heavyweight champion of the world. How many titles has Strowman won? Drops the mic, faces off in the middle of the ring. Fury shoves Strowman back. Strowman rams Fury back to the corner. Security hits the ring, and this was the big Pier 6 brawl that you see from the likes of a Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, so on and so forth. They beat up on security. By the way, Tyson Fury is a heavyweight boxer. Could you at least make it believable that you could hit the security? My God, how many times, like, he had a whole slew of security around him, and did he take shadow boxing with Shane McMahon because he didn't hit a single one of them? This was how you ended your final show of the wildcard rule. Hopefully that thing is dead completely. The wildcard, that little card that says wildcard, you rip that shit up and you put it in the vault because that was an absolute disgrace. This show was absolutely a waste of time. If you missed Monday Night Raw this week and you're like, you know what? I'm going to watch AEW. I'm going to watch NXT. I'll check out SmackDown because they're doing the draft. Monday Night Raw is not worth my time. You didn't miss a goddamn thing because nothing on this show happened worth talking about. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. And I will see you guys later. For tomorrow is Tuesday Night Free Match that is premiering at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will be there for, it's only about a 10-minute video, so make sure to check it out. It's me just going over that match, and it was a hell of a match. And then, of course, AEW on Wednesday, NXT on Thursday, and SmackDown on Friday. Now, AEW did announce that AEW Dark starts tomorrow. I will not be doing a review of that. I'm checking that out, as well as NWA Power, which will be starting as well tomorrow, too. But until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.